Hi, I am Allie Camilletti, and you are listening to Snack Leadership. I will be talking about everything leadership, broken down into bite-sized pieces. You will hear what different leadership skills look like in organizations and how they can rise teams up or take them down. I help leaders build resilience and improve performance by bringing awareness to opportunity behaviors in my business. Spark your mindset. I provide leadership and sales coaching, as well as team building and guest speaking. My hope is for you to feel inspiration and to create a spark in your mindset. Hi everyone. Today we are talking about gratitude. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful and showing appreciation for what one has, whether tangible or intangible. It involves recognizing the goodness in one's life and acknowledging that this goodness often comes from sources outside oneself, such as other people, nature, or a higher power. If any of you have listened to me before, I'm sure you have heard me talk about gratitude. It is one of my favorite tools, and it is one that I use daily now, and something that I have been practicing for over 10 years. Today, I'm going to talk about how it helps with depression, stress, anxiety, sleep. It's kind of a super tool. And if you haven't used it before, I'm going to encourage you to use it today. So before I go into this article that talks about the science of it, I just want to kind of share how I use it. If any one of you have gone on a walk with me, right down by my house around the river, I do this little loop. I have a place that is my gratitude place, and it looks over the water. And it's early on in my walk that I do this. And each day I just take in the beauty that I'm looking at, and I say one thing I'm grateful for. Now, I will say probably once a year, sometimes twice if it's been a tough year, whenever I notice I'm getting a little negative, I implement 30 days of gratitude. My daughter knows what it is now. I pull my little box out that says, "What are you grateful for today?" And I have little sheets in it, and it has her name and my name, where we list what we're grateful for. I put the date on it. And then I've added in an act of kindness as well, because it just seems to fit. And so you have to do 30 days, I find. This is what makes the difference. And without a doubt, if I have done 30 days diligently and haven't forgotten, which I put it right there on our dining room table, and we usually do it in the morning at breakfast when I do this, by the end of the 30 days, I am like walking outside being like, it is so beautiful. And I'm recording this in October. You're going to be listening to this in November. And right now, the fall leaves and the color of the sky, it is just amazing out. And so it's easy to get in that place. And here we are. I am recording this on the 21st of October, and I'm already back in this place of gratitude. Now, I don't know why it really has the effect it does until I started reading this article, because I knew it did. I thought maybe it's just energy of it. It's just amazing. I'd read somewhere a long time ago that it was like taking an antidepressant. And so I don't really like pharmaceuticals. So I decided I was going to do gratitude instead. But this article is so cool, and it makes so much sense on why it does what it does. So the article is by Positive Psychology, and it is called The Neuroscience of Gratitude and Its Effects on the Brain. Melissa Madeson wrote this, Ph.D. and scientifically reviewed by Maike Neuhaus, doctor. Now, they say gratitude is a powerful human emotion. Absolutely. I agree with this. As researchers explore the neurological underpinnings of gratitude, they're discovering that if this simple practice can lead to profound positive changes in mood. I vouch for that. As well as resilience. I know I have a high level of resilience. Is this why? I think it's a mix. It's a big part of the mix in the last decade. It definitely has helped. And then your overall well-being. So thankfully, what you need to be doing is thanking others, thanking ourselves, as well as Mother Nature or a divine power. Gratitude in any form can enlighten the mind and make us feel happier. It has a healing effect on us. That's from Russell and Foch, 2008. In positive psychology, gratitude is how we acknowledge the good things in life. It can be defined as a positive emotional response that we perceive while giving or receiving a benefit from someone. Emmons and McCullough, 2004. Gratitude is more than just a positive feeling. It is a complex cognitive and emotional phenomenon that involves recognizing how other individuals contribute to our well-being and enhance our appreciation of positive outcomes in life. Now, recently, I had a call where somebody shared that a woman who early on in my business invested in me as a coach, and I was told that it was getting close and she was going to be passing. And I was also told that the woman didn't want anybody to know. And so I needed to keep this close to my heart, but she wanted me to know. And all I could do was go to a place of gratitude for this woman, because here she is about to pass. And the first thing I thought is how grateful I was that she invested in me early on in my business when I only had a few clients. And she also got to meet my daughter. And it was kind of funny because Chella was such a baby, and I felt like she was like a little piece of china at the time. And she, I wouldn't let her hold her. And I laugh at it now because I'm like, oh, it's so silly of me. But I was just so like, nobody could hold Jello for a while. She even came and we got to go to Oktoberfest in my community, and we got to travel and see each other at conferences. And so today I want to just recognize that gratitude I had for her. She has passed now, which breaks my heart. Through the work I've done, though, I am able to see that everybody has their own journey. And I'm just grateful for how she was in my life and the role that she played. So from a science perspective, and they say neuroscientific perspective, gratitude activates key regions of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex, the anterior cingulate cortex, the ventral striatum, a key brain region involved in processing rewards, not something I always refer to, and the insula, a region of the brain involved in emotional awareness. Understanding the neuroscience of gratitude and how these areas of the brain regulate emotion, decision-making, and reward processing is an ongoing process. The neuroscience of gratitude is showing that it can impact relationships, resilience, and mental and physical health. Fox and others have said this. Essentially, when we experience gratitude, it changes physiological aspects of the brain that reside at the neurotransmitter level. These changes create feelings of happiness and contentment. I will agree that it helps with my happiness factor, absolutely, and being content, because I notice when I'm starting to get a little negative or edgy, it's time. Let's focus more and do it for 30 days. Dig in a little deeper. Researchers also hypothesize that gratitude is correlated with brain activity associated with moral cognition. When people are grateful, it activates reward circuits associated with social interaction and social cognitive processes by Fox and others in 2015. changes in the posteromedial and insular cortices, medial prefrontal cortex, and nucleus accumbens, a brain region central to the reward system, occur with these moral and social aspects of gratitude. Again, that was Fox in 2015. Now, I can remember a time when I had a client come to me, and many clients came to me at this point with the same thing, but there was one specific, and she said, Allie, our team is just kind of working against each other. What can we do? And I was remote. And so I said, there's something about positive gossiping. I've talked about it before on this podcast. I said, why don't you implement that where you're all expressing really gratitude for one another? And she did that, and they had an interweb that they used, right? And it made a huge difference in the team and bringing them together. That was an example of why it worked. It's because of that brain and what it hits on. Now, another thing I'm talking a lot about right now is if companies don't already have this, they should be implementing it. And you can call it whatever you want. I have one client that calls it high fives. I have another client that calls it way to goes. But these are ways of recognizing one another in your company. And I even like focusing on specifically a core value that you have in your company, I think is a great idea. But the importance of doing that and bringing people together to work together so that they're not working against each other. So the science of gratitude and how it changes the brain. Science has shown that aspects of gratitude have specific effects on the brain. For example, the study found that making moral decisions about gratitude activation the right anterior superior temporal cortex. This part of the brain is responsible for emotional, autonomic function, memory, and reward-related functions, according to Zahn in 2008. Now, the nervous system and emotional states. At a neurobiological level, gratitude regulates the sympathetic nervous system that activates our anxiety responses. And at the psychological level, it conditions the brain to filter the negative ruminations and focus on positive thoughts. The limbic system is part of the brain that is responsible for all emotional experiences. It consists of the thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus, and cingulate gyrus. Studies have shown that the hippocampus and amygdala, the two main sites, regulate emotions, memory, and bodily functioning, get activated with feelings of gratitude, according to Wong and others. This part of the brain includes reward pathways, hypothalamus, which can boost serotonin and activate the brainstem to produce dopamine, improving mood and making us feel good. There you go. That's why. So changes in the brain. Research examining specific areas of the brain found that individuals who experienced higher levels of gratitude had increased gray matter volume. Now, gray matter is where the brain processes sensation, voluntary movement, perception, speech, learning, and cognitive tasks. Gratitude can change neural structures in the brain, making individuals feel happier and more content. Feeling grateful and appreciative triggers the good hormones and regulates effective functioning in the immune system, according to Zahn, 2008. So gratitude in the brain and social connection. The correlation between oxytocin function and expressions of gratitude demonstrates the importance of gratitude in social bonding. Brain activity and hormones are released when individuals report being grateful for well-being and when they hear stories about compassion or emotional pain. This is according to Algo and Way in 2014. So as you can see, as I'm referencing these different people that have said these things, it's across the years that we're seeing this and noticing it. So the psychological and physiological benefits of gratitude. We all know the feeling of gratitude, the warm, fuzzy feeling of being appreciated or expressing that appreciation to someone else. As researchers explore various aspects of neurology and human behavior, They're finding strong connections between the mind, emotions, and actions. The neuroscience of gratitude and its relationship with brain function demonstrate numerous psychological and physiological benefits. So let's talk about some of these. Gratitude and resilience. Gratitude's been correlated with resilience and feelings of happiness. One study indicates that participants who felt more grateful and practiced gratitude journaling were also happier and emotionally stronger, according to Maike Neuhaus in 2018. Now, I will say there was a time when my therapist, she challenged me to, yes, say what you're grateful and don't repeat anything for 30 days is my rule. I feel like I read that somewhere. But then also go into more of the detail of it, right? And just like I shared with the woman that recently passed of, yes, I'm grateful for her. But why is that feeling of what she gave me by being an early client and believing in what I was doing and supporting that? Like, that makes my heart happy. I think all of us know those people that really believed in us early on. So, gratitude can boost emotional resilience by focusing on positive things in life instead of toxic emotions like envy, jealousy, resentment, and anxiety. I had a conversation with somebody recently and she's like, I really don't watch, all of the news, but I felt like I needed to watch this one thing. And I'm like, why? Because I feel helpless and like I can't do anything. And I'm like, does it make you feel better? I don't know. Like, what does that stimulate in your brain? I can say for me, it does not. I know. I do not do news. No. I will not talk politics with people. I just don't find that it's good for me personally. So I'm going to give you a link, and it's a TED Talk by Christina Costa. And she provides a wonderful example of how gratitude can lead to resistance or resilience. I encourage you to listen to it. It's short, right? It's a TED Talk, but it's really powerful. So, gratitude for stress. Committing to a daily gratitude practice may reduce negative emotions and provide a natural stress detox for the mind and body. Studies on gratitude and appreciation found that participants experience a reduction in cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and had better cardiac function, according to McCready and Childrey in 2004. Participants that practiced gratitude were also more resilient to emotional setbacks and negative experiences. Practicing gratitude can help individuals handle stress better, rewire the brain to cope with difficult circumstances with more awareness and broader perception. McCready and Childrey, 2004. So, gratitude and anxiety. There is evidence supporting relationship between gratitude and anxiety. Lua and Cheng in 2011, they did a study on 83 Chinese adults where they divided them into 3 groups. One wrote gratitude notes and words of positivity. One wrote about their worries, and the third group was assigned a neutral task. After the tasks completed, the groups were exposed to stimuli arousing death anxiety, an inevitable fear many individuals struggle with. Participants in the first group who wrote gratitude notes showed fewer symptoms of death anxiety than the other 2 groups. A grateful attitude can help individuals attain acceptance and become less fearful of the future. This data implies that gratitude and gratitude journaling can reduce anxiety. Gratitude practices like journaling and group discussions are important parts of mental health interventions and life coaching regimens. Now, our regimes. I would say I also practiced this when I had it was a committee for a fundraiser, and they were all older women. And I found after a couple of meetings that it was a bit painful for me. I'm like, what is up with this? Like, there was a lot of bickering and negativity. And at the time, I was practicing gratitude. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. Every meeting, we opened with one thing you're grateful for. I tell you what, the energy in those meetings after I implemented that changed. I loved it. It was such an amazing change that I experienced. So anytime I feel like I am feeling that, I'll add it in. So gratitude reduces pain. Gratitude may reduce feelings of pain by regulating dopamine levels. A study known as Counting Blessings versus Burdens found a positive effect on physical well-being among participants with neuromuscular disease. It has the ability to improve effect in the present and also increase the likelihood that people will function optimally and feel good in the future, according to Emmons and McCullough in 2003. Gratitude improves immunity. Gratitude research has demonstrated that individuals who have higher levels of trait gratitude have fewer common health complaints, such as headaches, digestion problems, infections, dizziness, congestion, and sleep problems. So they say practicing gratitude has also been shown to decrease physical symptoms such as head pain, sore muscles, and nausea. The authors believe that gratitude can down-regulate threat responses from the amygdala, decreasing cellular inflammatory responses linked to health, according to Hazel in 2021, or Hazelette. Now, gratitude improves sleep. I will say that during this time, it's kind of hitting on me because I have been under hormone therapy for like 12 years, and we had changed some of my hormone therapy, and I have had some different body things. And right now, I feel like I'm rounding the corner on it. And sleep was a huge one, and I've had body pain, and there definitely has been some depression and anxiety with that. And here I am at day 21. Can I say it was gratitude? I think it was a mix of my hormone dose and gratitude for sure. So with sleep, they say studies have shown that receiving and displaying simple acts of kindness and expressing gratitude activate the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus regulates the bodily mechanisms that control sleep. Hypothalamic regulation, triggered by gratitude, helps us get deeper and healthier sleep naturally every day. Gratitude and kindness help promote better sleep and energetic mornings, according to Zahn, 2009. Now, how does it reduce depression? By reducing stress hormones and managing the autonomic nervous system functions, gratitude significantly reduces symptoms of depression. At the neurochemical level, feelings of gratitude are associated with an increase in the neural module of the prefrontal cortex, the brain site responsible for managing negative emotions like guilt, shame, and violence. Emmons and McCullough, 2003. Now they say, as a result, people who have a regular gratitude practice may be more empathetic and positive-minded. I definitely believe I'm empathetic, and I definitely believe I'm positive-minded. Absolutely. But 10 years of gratitude. So how do we practice gratitude for brain-boosting benefits? Since the neuroscience of gratitude confirms that gratitude can reshape the brain and change cognition, the key is finding ways to practice appreciation and gain mental benefits from it. Simple daily actions or structured interventions and homework for clients can unlock the cognitive superpower. If you've worked with me, you know that I've assigned gratitude here and there. Absolutely, because I believe in it. Now, let's not forget to appreciate ourselves. Gratitude should start with yourself. A simple practice of standing in front of the mirror and saying 5 good things you appreciate about yourself can do wonders for confidence and sparking joy. Now, I have had people do 30 days of something positive they say about themselves. And I've had them text it to me to help them stay on the regimen. So this might include recognizing past achievements, present efforts or talents, and virtues. Compliment yourself with words like beautiful, loyal, disciplined, kind, and loving, and notice how it makes you feel. Gratitude journaling. So we've all seen them. They're everywhere, right? They provide a personal space to write down the things you're thankful for. Reflecting and recording gratitude forces individuals to consciously focus on good things rather than the bad. It's all energy, really, obviously, and our brains. Now, tips for gratitude journaling. Make your gratitude specific, like I had done, right? I'm grateful for this person because of this. Provide depth and detail in it. Write regularly and consistent. Think about negative things that have been avoided, not just positive gifts. Remember the good events and savor the emotions that come with the practice of journaling. For more ideas, this sister article offers journaling prompts to help you express your gratitude. So in this article, there's so many different resources for you. They talk about gratitude visits. They talk about gratitude meditation exercises, like taking time to pause, be present, reflect on specific people and aspects of your life can offer powerful benefits for the mind and body. Gratitude meditation can be done daily, but may provide benefits in as little as one session. So in addition, there is a wealth of gratitude exercises, as I said, that are in this article, and I encourage you to read the article as well. But I leave with you this quote: "Through the eyes of gratitude, everything is a miracle." Mary Davis. Thank you for tuning in to Snack Leadership. I hope you felt inspiration, motivation, and felt your mindset spark. Snack Leadership is recorded and produced by myself, Ali Camilletti, and music by Shireen Amini.